of God, we've got an exciting testimony today.
Definitely.
In this segment of My Testimony, where we are talking about the power of God in raising up somebody who had no hope, who had tried doing something for herself to try and raise her up, but she couldn't. But we thank God because of the grace that has been placed upon our mother, Mom Ruth Emanuel Makandiwa. This lady's life is a totally different story today. And we also thank God for the FDS. What does FDS stand for?
Femme de substance.
No, that's not how it's said.
I think I have to go to a little bit of some French
Also
lessons.
French school, yes.
Yes.
So we thank God for the FDS. This lady had tried to do something in her life, but she failed until she heard about FDS, and she started attending the FDS workshops. And that's when she had a turnaround. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow us to call forward Miss Rosiline Munamati. Welcome to My Testimony. We are glad to have you here today, and you've got a very powerful and inspiring story, which has inspired even myself, and I'm sure, Pastor, you're inspired, and I know after telling your story, everyone in this place and those who are watching online will be inspired. And it's a powerful story which tells how much this grace can take you from a life of hopelessness, a life where you know that you are now sinking, to a life where you are flying. And we thank God for your testimony. So just in brief, tell us how it started before we talk about where you are now.
Shalom, men of God. Shalom, family. My name is Rosiline Munamati. I am the founder and CEO of a company named Angels Knitwear, which specializes in school uniforms, corporate wear, and protective clothing. The journey of
At least you are showing that you are not jealous. So do it better, people of God. Please tell us how your story started, where you began from, and where your passion was driven from.
The journey of Angels Knitwear, it started in 2008. When I started Angels Knitwear, it was not operating like a business. It was operating like a tuck shop, unprofessionally. But before Angels Knitwear, I was a banker. I started off as a bank clerk, then rose through the ranks of the bank to manager's assistant. As I was a banker, I used to admire the clients so much. I always wished I were not a banker, a bank employee, but rather the client being served by bank employees. That's when I decided to start Angels Knitwear. When I started Angels Knitwear, I operated Angels Knitwear as if I were not a professional, as if I never worked in a banking institution.
Maybe you could tell us more of what you mean by that.
How I operated, I thought having a business, I am the one who had it all. Clients never mattered. Clients had to listen to me. Clients had to do things my way, not their way. Sometimes I would not pick up clients' calls. Sometimes clients, they would come and pay. When they pay, that will be the end of our relationship. All I
Sorry,
wanted was their money.
What do you mean that will be the end of the relationship?
Normally, I would deliver late.
I would actually
or
pray that they
I
wouldn't
would
come
not
back.
Deliver
At all?
At all. So I had one particular client. The lady came, she had a preschool. She came and ordered jerseys. She paid a deposit. I did the order on time. When she came to collect, she asked me if she could pay later. I agreed. But when I agreed, a month passed, 2 months, when it was about 2.5 months, she hadn't paid. So I decided to go for my recovery my way. Unfortunately, it didn't go well, and the way I did justice for myself ended me in police cells.
So you ended up being arrested for chasing after your money?
Yes, I was chasing money that I'd given to someone. I'd given someone products,
And
but
you
there
had
was
any
no,
paperwork?
there was
any
no
receipts,
paperwork, there were no receipts at all.
No acknowledgement of debt, nothing?
Nothing. So when we went to the police asked me, what are the bases of you claiming that she owes me? And that's where I got stuck. Being unprofessional made me lose a client. It made me lose business as well, and it tainted my reputation.
I know you've got more examples. Just give us just a little bit. You know, some of us, we want to hear. What else happened? Maybe you could give us just 2 quick
Because
examples.
we are learning from you.
Okay. And there was another school. They came, they paid for
So you also had schools as clients?
Yes, I had a school as a client.
Wow.
So they came, they paid their deposit for uniforms for Form 1 intake. Instead of me working on the order, I was happy that I had money in my pocket. I went on holiday.
Say Munamate.
I bought my clothes and things that I wanted, and then later when another client came to pay for a deposit, that's when I did the first client's order. Unfortunately, I delivered the order a month later when schools had opened, and the client had outsourced their uniforms somewhere because parents had paid for uniforms, but their children didn't have uniforms, so they had to cover up for themselves. When I got there to deliver the order, they refused the order. They demanded that I pay back the money that they had paid me. They were not going to accept my order, and I was stuck with uniforms that were branded. I could not sell anywhere. That landed me in debts.
Wow.
So what did you do when you were in debt? What did you do to recover the money that you had?
When I got into debts, I started borrowing to cover my debts. I would borrow from A and pay B, and then borrow from C to pay B.
Maivara makomba.
Ndaivhara makomba.
It was a life of just covering up different holes I dug myself into.
And I'm sure any phone call would cause palpitations to you.
Sometimes I would not answer the calls, or I would change my numbers just not to attend to the clients. Or
Muri Munamati kudaro.
Being that prayerful person that you are.
No, I'm just joking.
Thank you.
Now tell us your turnaround. How did it happen?
My turnaround came when I was in deep debts because I owed people, I owed the bank, I also owed loan sharks. That's when loan sharks, Jimbadzo,
Okay.
to be precise. Tikati loan shark chirungu.
If we call it a loan shark, it doesn't really give it its full weight.
So I owed almost everyone, and I had nowhere to run to. Even my relatives, they could not help me then because it was just too much for everyone. That's when I sat down myself and I realized I'm not going anywhere, but I'm sinking. And if I sink, I have two daughters who are looking up to me. What will they do if I'm in prison because of all the money that I owed? Thank God, that's when our mom came in. She came in with FDS.
So you are saying right in the time that your ship was sinking and there was no hope for you,
There was no hope for me.
you're looking for people to help you and you couldn't find people.
I was actually thinking of selling my assets to pay people, to pay my debts, but not with my mom. That doesn't happen if you're a daughter of Mom Ruth Emanuel Makandiwa. That's when she came in with FDS.
Right in the time you needed
Right
help.
at the time when I really needed it. That's when she started teaching us how to run business, how to conduct yourself when you're in business. She encouraged us to go for workshops, to read more material on business, just to better ourselves. I followed the way she was teaching me. One important thing that she taught me and that touched my heart was praying for my business. She taught me how to pray for my business. I started praying for the business. I started doing things the way she was teaching me. And with Mom, it's not only how she teaches you, but how she conducts herself. When you associate yourself with her, you don't want to be that bad apple. You always want to be like our mom. She leads by example. You know, when you have a mother who teaches,
Absolutely.
when you have a mother who teaches not only by talking, but by doing what she is talking about herself, mwana anodzidza nekuona amai vachiita more than kutaurirwa naamai.
A child learns more from watching than from being told what to do.
That's powerful.
My mom became my example and she became my advantage. I started listening to her, following her the way she was doing business. When mom starts to do something, she doesn't leave anything half done. She does it well and she does it very well. She completes all the things that she does.
Come on, you know there's some way you just need to clap louder than we are doing. Because even from the way that you are talking, I'm noticing things that you are saying. Probably before I come in again, I just wanted to ask a question. Can you give us a list of things that Mom specifically taught you? Because some of us, we were not there. We would want to also learn from you as you are explaining. What else did you do? Which steps did you follow that Mom gave you?
With Mom's teaching, she taught us when you're in business, your business has to be registered, which I did. You have to account for everything that you do in business. And when you are in business, you are like a mother. You nurture your business like a child and let your business
That's
grow.
your certificate of incorporation.
Yes.
Thank you.
You nurture your business like your child. Even the people that are around you, that are working for you, they are your children. You are responsible for them, their welfare, their life.
I see that you are tax compliant. That's
Yes.
your tax clearance certificate.
Yes, I registered my business. I'm tax compliant. I registered with PRAS. I can even now bid for tenders. I am NASA compliant. My business is now a business. I've got a professional accountant who
Sorry,
does
told
my
you. What is
accounts.
PRAS? I'm seeing the PRAS certificate.
Okay, this one is for, like when you want to bid for government tenders, those big tenders.
It's a procurement
It's a
regulatory,
yes.
regulatory authority of Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Okay.
So you are now compliant with PRAS and you can now get into the running with the big guys.
Yes.
Wow.
So tell me the nature of function that you now do in terms of your businesses. What kind of organization do you now deal with? Please, I think names are not important, but do you now see a change? Do you now deal with?
There is a big change. Like, if you had spoken to me then, before I met Mom, my voice wouldn't be as soft as it is now. Raijajira.
It was a really loud one.
And then in terms of business
In
supplies?
terms of business supplies, I've got schools that I'm working with.
Not a school,
Not
schools.
a school, schools. I'm a stockist for schools. I work with other organizations. I do the corporate way. And also, I've got a very good relationship with my schools.
Is that your stuff on the screen?
Yes. I've got very good relationship with my clients. When they have functions, sometimes they ask me to be their guest speaker. I go as a guest speaker to their functions, and some when they have workshops, I also attend workshops, and also I'm able to advise my clients.
So you're now a speaker even at workshops.
Yes.
From being a person who had Makomba, you are now a person who's now able to do this. You see what I'm noticing, Doctor? From the time that she started business, she said she was not a businesswoman. The things that show that you're not a business person is, one, your lack of accountancy. You're not accountable for the things that you do. Number two, your lack of public relations skills. She said she couldn't relate to people. Your lack of human resources management is something that she was not able to do. She was not compliant. She was a person who was not compliant. She was not running a business well. She is now compliant. And if you look at her, she's even saying, even the way I talk, which means personal transformation actually happened to her the moment that she saw Mom. So, which means what made her to be a different person, it was her encounter with the woman of God. When she met our mother, her life was transformed. So when I was just thinking about this, Doctor, you can actually see her on the screen, people of God. When I was just looking at this, I looked at what encompasses our mother. And I looked at the virtuous woman.
Yes.
I saw all those qualities. And one of the qualities that actually touched me was the quality of principle and helps.
Yes.
If you look at that and you analyze it, you see a lot of things, self-control, you see the aspect of principle, you see the aspect of love, you see the aspect of humility. All those things are the things that encompasses our mother. So when you look at this now, you see the aspect of principle. Her ability to do things that other people can follow up on as a character.
Absolutely.
Which is the rarest thing that we cannot see anymore in our generation, where you have a person who is a mother, who is a spiritual personality, who is a businesswoman, being able to balance all those facets as one. But also the deepest part, it is imparting that part of her to the next person. And we can see Mrs. Munamati here. You can actually notice that she is a beneficiary of the transformational ability that is in our mother. Her ability to bring herself out and put it into another person. If I was going to ask Ma'am Munamati, were you ever given money from Mom, say, go and pay your debts? Were you given that money?
With Mom, you don't need money. You need to follow what she says. You need to be under her foot.
So in a nutshell, you are saying information that she gave you was the money you needed to pay your debts.
Her information is the strongest currency, stronger than the US dollar, the pound.
Wow.
Because it is easy for us to think, Doctor, that probably she was given money for her to recover. But what she needed was a business principle and a business teaching.
Yes.
And what she needed was an impartation of character. And
Yes.
that's what she got. And she recovered from all the mess that she had. So meaning sometimes people here might actually thinking what they need is money. From a spiritual person, you don't need money from a spiritual person. You don't need money from a spiritual person. You need the spirit that that person has that makes them to be what they are. And that's what she followed after. Maybe, Doc, she could help us to also understand the last part of her testimony. Tell us your position now in your society, in your family, and even your debt level. How is it?
I'll start with debts. I'm debt free.
Wow.
I'm able to send my daughters to school at ease. I'm able to go on holidays at ease. I don't borrow at all. And also I have people that I'm also helping to start up and to grow the way our mother has taught us.
Wow. That's indeed a woman of substance. You are now a woman of substance, and we celebrate that. There's a picture that I saw, a very nice big machine. What kind of machine is that?
That one, it's an embroidery machine. That's the one we use for branding.
Wow, okay. And then maybe you can just tell us more about these machines. How many do you have comparing to when you started?
When I started off with one knitting machine and one domestic sewing machine. That's
Domestic.
Yes, domestic sewing machine. Now I have so many of those. And I had one employee at first. Now I've got several employees, and they also do shifts.
Wow. Yeah. So maybe as we cap it off, what do you want to say to, firstly, to the women out there who are trying to make it in life? Not just to women, even to men. Men, we are also trying to make it in life. What words do you want to say to the people out there who are trying to make it work? And what words do you have to our mother, Mom Ruth Emanuel Makandiwa?
To everyone who wants to make it out there, everything starts with you. You have to sit down with yourself, talk to yourself. Are you happy with what you are? Are you happy with the person you are? When you are not, when you've gotten the answers, look at someone that you admire, someone that you know if they talk, you listen, someone that you know if they talk, it touches you, and someone you know that if I were to follow this person, I will go far, like my mom, Ruth Emanuel Makandiwa. And to all the ladies, if you are not an FDS lady, my friend, you don't know what you're missing. You're missing on life. There's this part of your life that you're not doing favor to yourself. Do yourself a favor and become an FDS member.
Thank you.
To my mom, Ruth Emanuel Makandiwa, Mama, makandikoshera,
You're so precious to me.
munondigonera,
You do so well by me.
makaita chivindi,
You were so brave and you took a
to
risk.
shepherd a wolf like me, but mukandita munhu.
But you turned me
I
into a
thank
person.
you so much for your love. People could laugh at you for teaching me, but you didn't care. You made sure I become the woman I am now. I thank you so much, Mama, and I love you so much. Happy early birthday to you, Mommy, and happy anniversary to you, Mom and Dad. I love you so much.
Awesome. There you are, people of God. This is our testimony today. of what the transformation power of God upon our mother can do. This is a life which was sinking. Now she's flying. Now she's gone abroad. She has done great, great things. People of God, we need to give a round of applause and thank God who does such marvelous things. Thank you, Mama, for agreeing and allowing us to share your very powerful story.